Good morning. This is the Blank Throw webcast that we found each week on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can also listen in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You get more information about this show and past shows at my website, which is behind me, blainsworld.net. I'm your host, Blaine Greenfield, and I'm here in my Zoom studio in lovely downtown Fairview, North Carolina. Each week, we focus on positive news and information about people and organizations in both Western North Carolina and throughout the country. And toward that end, it's my pleasure to introduce my guest tonight, and she is I'll get right. Help me with the first name.
Delia.
Delia, sorry about that. Lytle Bailey.
Yes.
Okay, Delia Lytle Bailey, and Delia Lytle Bailey, as you see, is quite an interesting woman, and she wears many hats. So I don't see the hats behind you, but she wears many hats in the health and wellness industry with over 14 years of experience as a coach, instructor, trainer, you name it, Delia has been involved in. She's active right now with the National Academy of Sports Medicine, the Tai Chi, the Health Institute, Product Exercise Association, Silver Sneakers, and she's a licensed Zumba instructor and currently teaches at the YWCA of Asheville Parks and Recreation, Mental Sky Council, and Aging and Gift Fit Studio. And so the first question I'll ask you is, as a child, you grew up where?
In Asheville.
Okay, and did you know as a child growing up in Asheville, you always wanted to be in the health and fitness industry?
No, I had no idea. When I was really little, I wanted to be a hairdresser.
Okay.
And then I wanted to be a ballerina. And in fact, I ended up going to music school and did not find the fitness industry until quite late in life. I had my youngest child when I was 44, and I gained a lot of weight, and I was not very active. And I started attending Zumba classes and got quite hooked on it, and ended up becoming trained as a Zumba instructor. And I never thought I would actually teach, but it was interesting to me that it was a dance format because I wanted to be a ballerina.
Well, so you got into it eventually.
So
Great.
I got into dancing and started teaching Zumba, and then I trained in all the other formats that Zumba offers: Zumba toning, Aqua Zumba, Zumba Centao, Zumba Kids, Zumba Gold, all sorts of different formats from Zumba. And then I got my group exercise certification because it was required to teach at one of the facilities. And that led me into getting my personal trainer certification. And over time, I added a lot of other trainings and certifications because I wanted to be able to help as many people as possible in their health and wellness journey. So I took trainings in working with cancer survivors, working with active aging adults. I worked a lot with children, and I actually work a lot with special populations now, people that are in wheelchairs and nonverbal clients, etc., as well as high-end athletes. And my goal is that I want to bring people to a healthier lifestyle. So I recently added a health coaching certification, which is actually called a wellness coaching certification now. So I'm a certified health and wellness coach, which involves helping people with all sorts of things in their mental and physical health realm, including ways to eat healthier, ways to set goals in their lives, etc.
Let me ask you then, in terms of all the stuff you've been doing, do you have a favorite group or thing you do out of all this stuff?
I really don't, because everything has its own charm. There might be a favorite thing at any given moment, like maybe one week my favorite thing will be Zumba because I'm really feeling like dancing. And then maybe one week the Tai Chi will be my favorite because it's so meditative and centering. But all of the teaching I do, I really enjoy because I feel like it's helping people. And my students are very appreciative. Um, when I teach at some group homes, and when I show up there, I feel like I'm famous. they they uh they all come over and want their picture with me and want to sit next to me, and it's just so cute. So honestly, I enjoy all of it.
You told me
It's
something interesting though I never heard of. So Zumba I've heard of, but then you mentioned Zumba aquatics. Is
Aqua Zumba.
what is that all about?
Well, if you know what Zumba is, it's dance
Right.
fitness, and it has elements of dance and fitness, like you could do squats and jumping jacks and things. Aqua Zumba is when you take Zumba into the water. Um, and I have also an aquatic exercise certification in order to know the best way to be safe in the water with my clients. So when I teach Aqua Zumba, I stand on the pool deck. Everyone else is in the water, standing about chest high, mid chest, and we do water style dance moves that are specially designed for the proper speed and resistance of the water to get a really fun workout.
Now, to take that course, do you have to be able to swim, or do you have to be a good swimmer, or what is that?
No, you don't have to swim at all. You are actually standing in the water, and it actually helps a lot of people be able to do Zumba that maybe can't do it on land. People with knee issues, etc. People that are uh, morbidly obese and have trouble moving on land. The water really helps a lot more people be able to access fitness. And in fact, I'm excited because my outdoor summer water fitness class starts this coming Saturday through Asheville Parks and Rec. And that's going to be at the Wesley Grant Center at 10 a.m. And it's free to 60 and above. And for anyone under 60 year, there's a $3 charge.
Well, let me
Um,
ask you, very cool on that one. How do people find out more information about that?
well, they can contact me and I'll give my contact information at the end of the podcast, or they can go to the Asheville Parks and Rec website, and there should be a listing of all available courses being offered by Asheville Parks and Rec. I do offer a number of classes through Asheville Parks and Rec, and they're all free and open to anyone. This one in particular has a $3 charge if you're under 60, but every other class I teach is free to anyone through Parks and Rec.
Well, that's a pretty cool deal to take these courses and not pay for
It
them.
is.
Um, you've been doing that for how long, Parks and Rec?
Um, let's see. I believe I started with them in 2018. And then I also offer classes at the YWCA of Asheville. And those classes, you do have to be a member. However, there is one of my classes that is a free community class on Mondays at 8 a.m. That's athletic conditioning. The YWCA offers free community classes almost every day of the week. They're closed on Sunday, but those are open to anyone as well. And I'm really excited that I'm able to offer fitness instruction to people at no cost,
It should be.
because I think it should be open and anyone should be able to become more fit. And sadly, people with economic challenges tend to be uh, as much in need of fitness as anyone else, and maybe have struggles with being able to eat more healthy, etc. And they don't have access to as many services as people that are more economically stable. So having these free community classes is really important. So the YWCA is amazing to offer those. Asheville Parks and Rec is really serving the community beautifully through all these free programs. And the Land of Sky Council on Aging sponsors the Tai Chi program, Tai Chi for arthritis and fall prevention. Those classes are also free. You do have to be 60 to take those, 60 and above. And those are, to sign up for those, you would contact the Land of Sky Council on Aging.
I'm putting it down because good stuff. Let me ask you back just when you said though, the programs of the Y, where's the Y located for the benefit of the folks who don't know?
The YWCA is in downtown Asheville on South French Broad, very close to Asheville Middle School. And they are a full gym. Their mission statement is eliminating racism and empowering women, but it is open to men and women. It is not the YMCA, and they are not affiliated with the YMCA. They do have a pool, but right now it's under repair, so it will be reopened eventually. We don't have a timeline that I know of. I'd have to check, but we do have a lot of offerings there, and memberships are pretty reasonable. They also serve the community by offering childcare at the YWCA.
Talk about one thing you just mentioned, Delia, because it got my attention, and that is you said the one course I'm very interested in about fall prevention.
Yes.
You mentioned there was it's a combination of fall prevention and something else. What's the other?
Arthritis and fall prevention.
So I'm interested, but let me ask you specifically about that. So you can take that. You don't have to have arthritis to take it.
No, you do not. It's combined arthritis and fall prevention. And really, 1 in 3 people has a serious fall in their lifetime. That's a very high number.
I'm interested very specifically for a reason. My sister-in-law is in very bad shape, and she just fell, and she's not going to maybe make it through. So I'm very.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
You just heard today, as a matter of fact, but she just fell. So talk to me about that course then, because I have a concern even for myself. Who should take that course?
I think anyone who is aging could benefit from the class. And in fact, I think anyone at all could benefit from it just because of the meditative centering qualities of Tai Chi. It is quite soothing and relaxing. It helps you learn to focus and quiet your mind a little bit and work with your energy. Tai Chi is energy work. It's a mind-body type of class. So you're getting physical benefit, but you're also getting mental benefit from it.
Well, I didn't know we'd be talking about this today, but I'm going to talk more about it because personally I'm interested in it. When does this course start?
Well, the Land of Sky Council on Aging offers these series. They're 8-week series twice a week, or they can be once a week for 16 weeks, but there are 16 classes in a series. They offer at various locations. The next series that I'm offering, I co-teach with my friend Cheryl Perry, who has been teaching Tai Chi much longer than I have. She's also a yoga instructor. Cheryl and I teach together at the West Asheville Public Library, and those classes will resume in August for the next series. I believe it's my mind is telling me August 6th. Okay. And in order to sign up for those, you have to talk to Bria at the Land of Sky Council on Aging. I don't happen to have her number handy, but it should be readily available online. And I think if you just call the Land of Sky Council on Aging, they'll put you in touch with her.
Well, I'll do, and I really appreciate the information. I'm making notes myself. I'll try.
And I will say you can take that class more than once.
Okay.
So if you enjoy it and you want to take it again, you can sign up and take it again. It does have a limit. So if anyone's interested in signing up for the August series, it'd be good to do so pretty soon.
How many people are in the course typically?
I believe we have 20 maximum.
Okay.
But I'm not certain what the cap is.
And you said that course meets for 16 weeks or 16 sessions?
8 weeks, twice a week.
Twice a week. And do you know the time of it? When it's
The
going on?
West Asheville one is going to be Wednesdays and Fridays at noon,
Okay, perfect.
and it's 1 hour. But again, they also offer series at other locations with other instructors.
Here's what I'll do. If it's okay with you. After the show, I'll look it up and put in the notes. I'll put how to get in touch with the Land of Sky.
Wonderful,
Because
wonderful.
I didn't know we'd be talking about it, but what a course and how timely. And like I said, it's open for just no, you have to be over 60. Is that it? Take the course.
Yes, you have to be over 60 for that series. Although
I qualify.
I am absolutely willing to teach a series to people under 60 if I had enough demand for that. It would not be through the Land of Sky Council on Aging, so I'd probably have to charge a small fee. But like anything, when I teach classes that I am doing on my own at a private studio, I never turn someone away for lack of ability to pay.
Now, on that course, do they learn Tai Chi, or if you do you have to know Tai Chi to take it, or
You don't have to know anything at all about Tai Chi, and it will help you with posture and alignment. And really, I think it's something that almost anyone should take. People these days have terrible upper body alignment from being on computers and
Right.
phones so often. And a lot of people have improper spinal alignment, etc. So these are all things I work on with all my clients in all my personal training and everything as well. But the Tai Chi really beautifully helps people understand body alignment and correct movements. And it's very slow and gentle. Some of my classes are very, very fast and active and high intensity. So I go through the spectrum from very low intensity Tai Chi to very high intensity athletic conditioning. And it all came from my love of Zumba. I also studied martial arts for quite a while. And that's another thing that led me towards Tai Chi, because I had some knee issues. I had to stop practicing for a while and don't know if I'll be able to go back to Taekwondo. So the Tai Chi is really a lovely art.
okay, well, you got me interested, so thank you very much for doing that. You know, I have a
Good.
buddy of mine who want to take a balance course, so let me see if I can get him into it as well. In
They
terms of,
also offer matter of balance classes through the Council on Aging. I did not teach those, but they have some other balance programs as well.
okay,
The Tai Chi is my favorite, though.
so yeah, I didn't realize it was a combination of two. That's pretty cool. What if somebody, I'm thinking, for example, my wife would be interested as well, but she's kind of walking around with a walker.
It can be done in a chair.
Okay,
And I actually offer some of my fitness classes are a combination of standing and chair work. And I do have sometimes people come that are always in a chair. And I have other classes that are seated. Like I teach a drumming workout where we use sticks and drum on buckets. And it's also a workout. We do core and arm movements. And that can be done fully seated the entire time. And it can be done just for the drumming experience, or you can put in the fitness moves if you feel comfortable doing that.
I'm thinking,
And I offer that class at Harvest House, which is one of the Asheville Parks and Rec facilities. And that is also one of the classes I teach to special adults and at the Autism Center as well.
how many different courses do you teach?
Right now,
Yeah,
or
overall, I mean, just I'm so impressed that it seems like the only thing I don't see roll skates in the background in terms of getting from all these different courses, but you're keeping pretty busy with all these courses.
well, I'd like to say the only thing I don't teach is yoga.
Okay,
But I have right now I'm teaching athletic conditioning at the YWCA, and then I go and teach senior strength training at Harvest House. And then I teach a TRX and BOSU combination class at the YWCA. And that's on Mondays, all of those. And then on Tuesdays, I teach Zumba Gold at the YWCA. And then I teach the drumming workout at the Harvest House. And then on Wednesdays, I teach at two different group homes and the drumming workout. And then I have been teaching the Tai Chi. And then Wednesday evenings at 5:30, I teach a Zumba class at Grotfot Studio, where my friend Shannon Ginn is the owner. And those classes are free or by donation, the Zumba class. And that's Wednesday nights at 5:30. So if you want to come to that, just reach out to me and I'll tell you how to get in. And then Thursdays, I teach a senior strength class at the Grove Street Center, which is a Zumba toning and Zumba Centao combination class, which uses hand weights and some core strength work. And then let's see, I teach a class at the Women's Correctional Facility, a Zumba class. Then I also teach on Fridays core conditioning at the YWCA. And then I teach Friday fitness at the Harvest House. And Saturday mornings, I teach Zumba Gold, which is Zumba for active aging adults or lower impact. And it can also be done in a chair. If your wife ever wanted to attend one of those. And though some of my classes are available on Zoom as well. And then Sundays, I don't teach a class.
I was going to ask you.
And then I have the new water fitness class starting this coming Saturday at 10.
The one other thing too, you probably should teach the course. I want to give you a compliment here, is in memory. Just how you can even remember all this stuff. It's just incredible to me, But I guess talk about that though, because I guess all this stuff is good for the brain, good for the memory. You want to talk
about that? It is. It's called mental aerobics.
Right.
It increases your neuroplasticity. So neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to rewire itself and create new neural pathways and things. And so Zumba and Zumba Gold are particularly good for your neuroplasticity because they involve a lot of right and left traveling movements, forward and back, right and left, etc. And that kind of confusion you have for a second in the middle of these classes is really healthy for the brain. And the Tai Chi also improves the neuroplasticity. And honestly, I think most of the classes I teach do. Now, the only thing I'm not teaching anymore that I really love teaching as well is cycle or spin, which I taught for quite a while, which also some of the classes are good for people with Parkinson's. Cycling is particularly good for people with Parkinson's.
I've heard that, yeah.
Zumba, I've had some people with Parkinson's come to some of my other classes. And I will say that whatever I'm teaching, whoever comes, I always try to make sure that they have something to do. So if you come to one of my very high intensity classes and you're not terribly strong yet, I will show you things to do still. I try to never turn someone away from a class. I try to create community in all of my classes and help people feel really comfortable in being there, because it can be a little intimidating to walk into a gym. And then with my personal training and health coaching, the personal training is about fitness and helping people get stronger and maybe achieve a specific performance goal. For example, I have a student who is in her late 60s who is a marathon runner, and I'm trying to help her stay strong. And it's been working because she came in first place in 2 marathons for her age group and quite high in the overall rankings as well. And told me that after her last marathon, she wasn't even sore. So she credited my help with that.
Very nice.
Although she's doing the work.
What's the oldest you've ever worked with?
I have a student right now who's 92 years old that comes to my seated drumming class. And then I had another student that was 93 who was coming to my senior strength classes. And as far as I know, that's the oldest student so far.
Okay, and let me ask you this question. If somebody's listening or watching this and they haven't done anything for 20 years, or just hearing this show, what would you recommend them to do to start off?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say you're never too old to get healthier and more fit. That's proven. And as we age, we lose muscle mass, but you can gain muscle mass through working out. So I do think that Tai Chi is very, very gentle. So if you have arthritis or anything, that's a great place to start. The water fitness is also a great start. Zumba Gold is another one that's really good. And my senior strength classes, honestly, are quite accessible to anyone. And I teach those Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Oh, I forgot that I do Wednesday morning small group training at the YWCA, which is another strength combination class with a chair and hand weights that can be modified or made much harder. So I try to show many levels in all of my classes. So if you have a 93-year-old woman, as I had in one of my classes, and then a woman in her mid 50s who is quite strong, they can both be working out in the same class.
Listening to you, what I'm finding very interesting is that you also seem, and it's really cool that you do, you seem like you have fun doing this,
Oh, yeah, it's really fun.
But let me ask you too, the same token, do the people taking the courses have fun?
Oh, yes. I think that's the thing that Zumba really brings to the table, the fun factor. And since that was my first format and my first training, and I've taken all the trainings they offer. I've gone to the annual Zumba convention, many years. I take a lot of workshops, and one of the things they do the best is help people forget they're working out and just make it fun. It feels like a party. We call them Zumba fitness parties.
I love it.
They're not classes. And Tai Chi also is designed to be playful. So whatever I teach, I try to bring the fun factor into it. And I use music for all of my classes. Now, Tai Chi, we start out without music. And at the end, we finish by doing the forms with Tai Chi music. And each class has its own special playlist.
And what's incredible about your story as I'm listening to it is that you kind of just fell into this at some point in time, like earlier in your life. Were you concerned with any of this stuff or physical fitness or?
Oh no, I really was pretty unhealthy and out of shape. I've struggled with my weight my entire life. And so I know what it feels like to walk in and never have done a workout. I know what it feels like to have weight problems. And I have a lot of empathy for people going through all sorts of situations. I've injured myself seriously before. And I had to come back from a very severe injury to my neck years ago. I also injured my knee pretty seriously 2 years ago and had to rehab from that. And so one of my main goals is that no one gets hurt in my classes. The other is that I know which moves are safe depending on what type of physical ailments a person struggles with. And one of the reasons that I've taken so many certifications and trainings is to make sure that I can keep people safe and create an effective workout and make it fun.
Well, I don't know how you're doing it, but I certainly am impressed. I like to just
Well, thank you.
have you mentioned one other thing? I have if somebody wants to reach you to find out more about all these courses you mentioned or one-on-one training, whatever, what's the best bet?
Well, I'll give you two ways to contact me. One is by email, And my email for fitness is Zumba Delia, ZUMBA @hotmail.com. And the other way to reach me is really by phone or text at 828-279-0086. Probably texting is best. I don't often answer calls if I don't recognize the number. And then I have
let me just ask you to repeat that number though slowly once again. If you want to reach Delia,
Delia.
I'm sorry. If you want to reach Delia, I need the course you talked about, work on the brain. But if you want to reach Delia, if you would repeat that number once again slowly.
828-279-0086.
Thank you. And also, if you would please, the email address again.
Z as in zebra, U, M as in Mary, B as in boy, A, D as in dog, E, L as in lion, I, A @hotmail.com. ZUMBADELIA @hotmail.com.
And by the way, thank you for repeating that, because I don't know about you, but so many people, especially here on TV, radio, anywhere else, they rush through that and you can never get it. So thank you for sharing that information.
Well, and the other thing is, if you go to Zumba.com, I do have an instructor page there. I believe it'll show up under Delia, but my full name is Delia Bailey. It will show up under that for sure. And you can search for classes in the area. And I try to keep my classes posted on that website. And then I have an instructor page that has information about me as well. And I believe there's a way to contact me on there as well.
Anyway, I'd like to thank you for sharing all this information, getting me interested in it. Hopefully some other people are interested in it as well. And I'd like to say hopefully we'll bump into each other somewhere down the road, but that'd be great. I also like to thank my producer, Cappy Tassetti, and we'll see you soon, I hope.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and we'll go on from there.